have a mechanical pencil you guys have as well, so you also have a regular pencil you can use. And the idea is to, starting off just with a vertical line, and we try to do this with the two object drawings that we've done so far, and elevating these so that this is what they call an isometric sketch, going from the same angle. These are parallel lines. So just putting the two pencils down, they're parallel, and they're going to do the same way this way. So once you get it set in there, just kind of sketching this up, kind of make a little angle there. So you're ending up with three measurements: the length, the width, and the height. So just making this approximately even, there's one measurement, and just suggesting on this side, just picking a measurement on this area. That gives me that piece. And this section coming right across the back. And you can see that it's just made up of three sets of three parallel lines going for the height, the width, and the length on all three sides. Now, the light source, I'm going to have it coming from the top again, is going to be on this top piece. I'm going to let it just be a light piece in the background. So blending that part dark to light, just very ever so lightly. The lines, when you can tell, even in this illustration, they disappear. So here's the shape, and I'm going the direction of the isometric drawing. So similar to the perspective, just kind of putting in a tone. Do the same for the opposite side. Start at the top and just following that line. Since these lines, they're parallel as well, these are just called a hatch line. So these two are the same value. I want to make this one a little darker, so I'm just going to overlap it, only this time going vertical. And what you end up doing is you make a crosshatch of lines that emphasizes the direction. So you're actually making all these little parallelograms just by the virtue of shading this. And continue to do that. Just kind of get some practice, shade it nice, gradation from dark to light. This is the dark side of it. So I can go over it a few times. The texture of the paper is starting to show just because of the element there. And you can tell I've lost the line, so there's really no lines when you think about it in nature. It's just edges of objects that make it look as if there is a line. This is the second tone. This is the lightest, so it's going the lightest, medium to dark. Okay, so it's setting that part up. If I leave a straight edge right there, I can just use it to really focus on the shading and just go right up against that edge. And as this light comes down, the shading comes down, it's going to be the reflected light that we spoke about. Okay, so see if you can't put that section down there. And as you get over here, just kind of change direction and just rendering this part a little bit so you can see that I've lost the line that's outlined this whole piece. You can do the same with this one. Here, if I butt up the straight edge, paper, triangle, whatever you want to use, I can heavy this part up and go right, let it blend right into the next piece, because I can always take that out later or try to get the motor skill there and see if I can't touch that piece up. Also, if you put your hand in your own drawing, you can always put a piece of scrap paper down. Keep from spreading it around there. Like so. And the same with this top piece. In the illustration, it's dark behind this. I'm just going to let it be a little bit light. So I'm blending the outer edge so that it's going to be dark against the light background, but not super dark, just about a quarter tone value. Building that piece across. Same with this part. Can take this section and just soften that up there. So see if you can't take the part there again. This can also have a little tone there. And then you can see the overall value, so I'm going to go back into the darkest one again and really put some pressure down there to make more graphite. The darkest you have is actually the shape of the lead. So, and the straight edge just makes it a little easier on a geometric shape to go ahead and plot that in there. When I get down to the bottom, I'm going to increase that because now the light's coming from here to make the cast shadow. Just going to have you make parallel lines for this. So here's the front of this. If you could see through this invisible, the other part would be right in about here in this middle. So I'm just sending that part out. And it's showing this part cast shadow. So I'm just going to pick a point down here to illustrate that, like so. And the cast shadow is going to be dark to light, so it's going to be darkest where it's touching the form, and then blend away from itself. And be real soft as it gets off to this side here. Okay, so this is just a basic rendering, basic shape. Find this edge again. Just blend that in there like so. Okay.